In this video, we're going to talk about the uranium sector as well as the energy crisis that's going on around the world, how this is causing inflation to go up. We're going to look at some charts on some really alarming things going on in the energy sector with prices and electricity output. But first, hit that like and subscribe button below. You guys did it. You got 800 likes last video plus. So we're going to see a third uranium documentary coming soon. So if you guys want these videos, me updating the uranium market as well as everything else, hit the like and we're gonna jump right into it. So first thing is the uranium stocks in the last day, they've actually corrected just a little bit. If you look here, all 75 uranium stocks I cover, they're down about 68%. So that's fine. It was about 700% if you add all these together. So there are some good swing candidates in the uranium sector because you can see a lot of the charts, they're very similar. So maybe trading some stocks that are easily traded like Denison or stocks that a lot of brokers can cover. Those might be good swing candidates, but I still have my long-term uranium stocks and I'm looking to add more to that. So we'll see how things go, but there is a crisis coming and I think this could really push uranium to $200 plus. So export prices in the US, we'll first touch on that. They're just seeing record numbers here. As you can see, we saw a peak last financial crisis and then it dropped. But we saw the same thing happen here last year and we're breaking all records here. So one thing I really look at this is this really correlates to inflation, and although they are trying to mask inflation and trying to help in certain ways, inflation is here and it's not stopping any. Prices are going up and I really do like to look at this export price here. So we're going to keep an eye on that. I think new prices come today. But if you look here, this is the Port of LA. This was, I think, taken yesterday. And you can see all these cranes. A lot of problems have been happening. They've had ships backing up and they just have no storage for these these containers here. And one thing about social media that I've seen, and the government's actually going to make that port 24/7. A lot of truckers have been posting and saying they're waiting at the yard, and then some crane operators at some yards have been saying, contrary, to what the truckers are saying, they're saying no truckers are available. So it's a weird cluster going on, but they are making the Port of LA 24/7. So that is one good thing I think that's happening. That might get people's medicine and things like that. Although we want prices to go up, we want people to have their medicine. We don't want it to be a bad Christmas for people as well. But prices in the energy sector are up. Look at the gas prices in Europe. Euro 434% for the year, and uranium down here 54%. We're right here with ethanol. And I think that because the uranium market is a long term, it takes 2 years plus to make this feel, these contracts are years and years out versus, them pushing coal up because they need it. They buy it, they buy up record prices because, China 60-70% uses coal. But we're looking at uranium. We're looking at uranium here to break out. I think once we hit $100 a pound, we're going to start to see this compounding effect in all these uranium stocks. But winter is coming, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But I first want to show you, like I said earlier, these are the uranium stocks down in Australia. So, somewhat of a little correction. That's why these uranium stocks, they're such good stocks. If you're looking at volatility, if you're looking long term, it's good no matter what, because they're still so undervalued in my opinion, especially a lot of the ones that have uranium and that can sell it and produce. Right now, Bloomberg is saying that this energy crisis in coal doesn't mean that it's over. India and China, they're going to have issues. There's a record drought. Winter is coming. So you're going to start to see a lot of these companies, they're going to have to limit their energy use. And a lot of these factories in China, they produce a lot of stuff. So we're going to see a backup of things. I think Q1 and Q2 next year is going to get really crazy. Zero Hedge here is saying that they expect 50% plus heating bills to soar. And as you've seen, the natural gas futures are up like crazy. We're going to look at a better chart here. Right here, as you can see, no matter where you are in the United States, you see prices going up for electricity. And, in the South, it's even going up. We saw last year Texas had these problems with the weather, the freeze, And I think this is just the beginning of that type of thing. Natural gas prices going up. You got propane going up. So even if people use, whatever, generators, things like that, or they use propane to heat their house, you're going to see electricity just continue to go up, and the cost of electricity. And, this is going to, I think, really have a problem here in the United States for a lot of people. Hopefully these nuclear power plants can pick up any of the drop in electricity. We'll look at that. I got a chart for that in a second. We'll see. But as you see, look at the prices here, 48% up there in New England. That's really where you see it's very cold there. So this winter, it's really going to rock a lot of people and companies. It's gonna create a lot of havoc, I think, and the market is going to react. And look at gas prices here, fuel prices. Diesel's a big one because of this transportation issue. A lot of these truckers are independent contractors, and they have to pay for this diesel. And when it's going up record price, it's really going to cut into their bottom line. They're already not paid that much, so you're going to see more shortages. It's going to just keep pushing prices up, and this is pretty insane. The prices you see here around the United States for gas, it's insanity. $4 plus a gallon, $4.50. And I think that, inflation's really just catching up. We're going to probably see this, continue to go up. Now, can nuclear power help us? Yes, because it's base load. But as you can see here on the map, we have an outage map here. There are a lot of uranium utility companies that use nuclear power. They refuel during this time, so there are outages that we see here, and they're at limited capacity. But as winter comes, we'll see how the energy sector, the power sector, if there's outages here. I like to look at this. This white here is the actual snow coming in. So we're gonna have some issues, I think, this winter, and we'll probably see it here. This map's really cool because I can track any emergencies going on, as well as if it's knocking out power. We'll see it here, and I think this is just that'll push prices up, continued into the winter here. So we just got to keep an eye on this. Right now the market, the Dow is up. The Dow Jones is up because all of these the banking sector did really well. We saw good numbers, but I think Q1, Q2, a lot of these big companies, the numbers are going to go down. So just because the market, we're doing better in the market, doesn't mean that we could see a quick correction. These numbers are going up, but inflation is adding to this. Where are people going to put their money? Their dollars are getting devalued. So I really do think that as the Q1, Q2 next year, we're going to see record energy prices, and the stock market could have a correction. Who knows? Maybe not. But they are going to have to battle inflation. Rates are going to rise. So the one thing is, the energy sector, uranium, I think, is the best place for my money. And I showed this today. I tweeted it, or actually yesterday. SPI Energy, this stock did 4,000% in one day. Now, it was on the verge of bankruptcy, had little volume, like 198,000 average volume. And then when volume comes in, 306 million at the time. I took a screenshot of this. And this ran so much, and people think that your $200 uranium sounds crazy, that a 10x from these prices in uranium average price would be crazy. But when you see moves like this in the market, this is not a normal market. We're seeing record inflation around the world. We're seeing record printing of money. The dollar's being devalued. So you're going to start to see moves like this. And if you play it right, if you can play this right, you can make a fortune. Obviously, if someone was highly leveraged in this and caught it in the morning, and somehow they had the guts to push it out, fortune's made here. And I think uranium's going to do the exact same thing. If we can, jump in on uranium stocks when they get that type of volume, and even if you're not a long-term investor, if you can just get in on the day trade, the swing side, even fortunes are going to be made. And that's where my money is going to be going. I'm looking to add to my long-term uranium stocks, but I also might swing some uranium stocks. It's very simple to do. If you can get in, obviously, fast, get in at the bottom, and then we see spot or long-term contracts go up. I say it's simple, but it is still tough. Got to have experience in doing that. But for everyone that's been long uranium since I started covering it last year, at the bottom, everyone's up. You know, no matter what you look at, pretty much any uranium stock is up like crazy. So uranium is where I think that the best bet for this energy crisis, transportation issues, that's where my money's gonna be going. Let me know below, do you guys like these videos? I'll keep making them if you do. Be on the lookout for that Uranium Documentary 3.